Hey guys, what's going on? Basin here, and welcome to another video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about this game that I played in the past few days called 12 Minutes, and I have a lot to say on this game and everything like that. I will warn you that near the end of this, I will be talking a little bit of spoilery stuff, so I'm going to make sure that I tell you all before I get there so that you can click away and come back, but I'm going to try and keep this review mostly spoiler free. If you've watched the trailers, that's probably all I'm going to go into during the beginning part of this, and then when we get into the spoilers, I'll obviously give a hard spoiler warning, so if you haven't played the game, then you can click off and then come back whenever. If you like this sort of content, please make sure you click the like button. Leave a comment down below telling me what game that you might want me to play in the future. And if you've played 12 Minutes, tell me how you feel about it, because I love to have this sort of conversation in the comments. So please make sure you leave that. Drop a subscribe as well and click that bell. That it really helps me a lot. Okay, so let us talk about the game that didn't break the internet, but the game that should or might break the internet in 12 minutes. This game was not what I expected it to be in the best and worst way possible. So it kind of just completely bypassed my expectations in a both negative and a positive way. The gameplay itself was nothing amazing. It was a point-and-click adventure sort of game, which I kind of figured coming into it. I knew it wasn't going to be like the most the best gameplay game of the year. I was in it mostly for the story, but I realized that the gameplay itself just kind of was meh. It wasn't anything just like good. I mean, it was a point-and-click adventure. That's the best way I can describe it, and especially in the stuff that you can see above, you can kind of see how it works a little bit and all that sort of stuff, which is it's just how it is. I really liked the gameplay loop. That was probably one of the best parts about this game, is going into your resetting your loop and trying to figure out different ways to get further in the story. And you might say, well, Jojo, isn't that like a sort of thing that every game happens? Yes, absolutely. Like in time loop games, you restart the loop and you try to find more information each time. But I think that this game did it in a way where it felt like everything else, but it also didn't. It kind of had its own unique take on it as well. The idea of being like, okay, I know where this thing is, I know where to go for this thing, I just don't know how to connect these two, and then finding that one piece that helps you connect these two things together, and it makes everything so much bigger. The negative thing on the gameplay side that I really want to bring up is the amount of clipping that happens in the game. So like there was one time I was going into a room and I just kind of clipped through the wall and I couldn't get my character out. So I had to just sit here and wait for the cop to just come in and do his thing, and all that sort of stuff. So that was I was like, what is going on here? This game is not the pinnacle of polished, is what we would call it. But I honestly, it wasn't. That's not the point of this game. And once again, the highlight of this game is the story, which we will get to in a few minutes. So let's talk about the design and the way that the game looks and how it relates to the gameplay and all that sort of stuff. I really like the top-down view. I think that was a great way to actually do this. I think that this was specifically a choice that that I thought was really interesting, and it kind of added this almost weird dynamic between you and the characters that are in the game, because you don't see their faces. You don't have that personal connection with the characters. You're not for example, if you're playing a FPS or you're playing a RPG, you can see the face. Or if you're playing Breath of the Wild, you'll see Link's face. You'll see these characters' faces and you'll make that personal connection. But in this game, you don't get that. You have to fill in the gaps yourself, and I think that that's really cool, because you can kind of put faces to these characters even if you don't exactly know them. which is super duper duper cool. I really enjoyed that. And in terms of like the graphic style, I mean, it's okay. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing extraordinary. It's not going to win awards for it, but I kind of liked it. I like the, like, not comic booky style, but like the shell shaded, like mobile game looking style. I think it really fits this game, and I think it kind of does what it really needs to. So now we're gonna do no spoilers for right now. This is a completely spoiler free part about the story. The story is the best part about this game, and it is also the worst part about this game. I thoroughly enjoyed the story up until a point. That is all I will say in terms of spoilery stuff. I think that the game did a really good job of setting itself up to be a really good game with a really invigorating story, getting me into these characters and this world that Annapurna had created, and I was so invested until I wasn't. That is such a like weird answer to like review on, because I don't want to spoil this for those of you listening, but I can't get behind some of the story choices near the end of this game. I just think it was a completely out of left field thing. I mean, some people, if you play the game and you think about it, you might be able to be like, okay, there's where this is going to happen, this is where this is going to go. And yeah, I mean, it just wasn't my favorite choice. And once again, I experience these games. I sit down and I play them for review, or I sit down and play them for myself, my enjoyment, which I will eventually turn into a review. I don't create these stories. I just think that the way that this story turned at the end was something that nope. I just want to tell you that there's a point where I lost interest in the story, but I wanted to finish it out and see it through and see if it went anywhere interesting, and it something happened. That's all I'll say. But yeah, that's 12 minutes in a nutshell. So I'm gonna cut the end of the non-spoilery stuff here. So if you played the game up to this point, you can continue listening. I would suggest, if you haven't, or if you're okay with spoilers, or if you haven't and you're not okay with spoilers, you should stop here. Thank you for tuning in if you're leaving, but come back if you want to hear my thoughts on the story, because that's what this game is really about. So, the ending, am I right? The ending of this game, not great, not my favorite. Absolutely not. I absolutely despised this ending. I think the reveal at the end was definitely shock value. It definitely hit me with a shock value, but the idea of these two being related and them not realizing stuff and having it be like kind of like mind trippy and all that sort of stuff just really didn't do it for me. I thought it was and the way that it happens when you're done, it I can't. I did not like the ending of this game. And I know some people absolutely adored the ending of this game. And I am excited to say that this was not the game that I thought it was going to be. And it's okay. This is the first game that I've played in a while that has not, that like I had expectations for it. It just didn't meet those expectations. Or it took my expectations and completely changed them in a negative way. So it's not a bad game. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but the story wasn't for me near the end. Everything leading up, as I said, to the end, like figuring out what's wrong with the cop and why is he doing this? Why does he want the watch? Like all this sort of stuff. Like that's great. I understand that completely. Like that's a invigorating story, trying to figure out why he's doing this, and then discovering, oh, it's about her father and like who killed her father, like all that sort of stuff. Like, I'm fine with that. I think that's a great way to tell a story. It's just the plot twist at the end, I could not get behind. I honestly could not get behind that. It just struck me the wrong way, in all honesty. So that is my review of that story. And I suggest if you have any comments or anything you want to talk about in the comments, like, please leave it below, and I'd love to open this conversation with all of you here on the channel. So with that review over, it's time to look forward to Wednesday, what our next review is going to be. And I'm going to tell you, this next review is going to be controversial for a lot of you, because I have an opinion about this game that people don't share this opinion with this game. But I'm excited to get out there and just kind of, once again, open a dialogue, open a conversation, give my thoughts on the game, because that's what I do here on the channel. So our next game is going to be That's right. Our next game is going to be Hades, a lot of people's game of the year last year. A lot of people loved this game, and I absolutely adore this game. I think that this game is really, really well done and everything like that. And I'm excited to talk about it next week. I know that we've been doing a lot of roguelites or a lot of indies recently, but don't worry, next Sunday is going to change that up a bit. I also would like to start teasing a bigger project here on the channel here at the end of this video, before we get to the outro end cards and stuff like that, because I want to let you know that there's a game that I'm slowly starting to work on in the background that is a very, very long game. It's a very, very long game, and I don't know when that'll be popping up here on the channel, but I'm excited to start working on that game, as well as constantly doing these reviews of these smaller games and the games that I've played in the past and just all that sort of fun stuff. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. The teaser's going to play a little bit after this. It's just going to be the music underneath the end card, so you'll know what game it is if you know what game it is. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Tell somebody you love them for me, please. And I will see you back here on Sunday for... not Sunday. Wednesday for Hades. I'll see you all then.